What is up, guys? Galley Plays here, and today we are going to be talking about Marathon Update 1.1.0.2. Specifically, I want to explain these patch notes to you. If you're not familiar with patch notes, the whole point of reading patch notes is because if you play this game, you find the guns that are good, maybe the bully's good, maybe right now the D54 is way overtuned, super good. If you're not using it, you should. And you need to read these patch notes so that if they change anything, then you know, so that you don't use this weapon and all of a sudden it's terrible, right? And there's also big things that happen. The patch notes are where you get your data, and so that's why I'm reading it to you right now, okay? So 1.1.0.2, and I'm not just going to read it, I'm going to explain it. I'm going to give you context, so stick around, okay? Let's get into it. The biggest thing here is the C.A.R.R.I event. If you played Season 1, they brought the C.A.R.R.I event in, C.A.R.R.I, the Cyber Acme Runner Reinforcement Initiative. The big thing about this is you're going to do things, and you're going to get commendations or tokens. And then in the SciAC store, there's a bunch of stuff you can buy with these tokens. They're super good, okay? So there's a bunch of details here on how to get them, okay? So if you are with a crew, every time you help somebody do their contract, you're going to get +4. For solos, you're going to get some. Right now, that seems to be a little broken, but you get some on exfils as rooks and whatnot. So really, by playing the game, you're going to get these commendations. So I think for me, I just try to focus on doing what I'm actually going to do, and then I get the commendations as secondary. They're just kind of like supplementary, okay? And then you can use those to get special offers. So there's a weapons, there's the reputation packs. The biggest thing for me are the rep packs, okay? There's one a day, and I'm not sure if it's daily or weekly, but it's 500 rep for each faction, easy for 25 credits, okay? So what I recommend is if you're playing like sponsored perimeter, which is going to be up for another week still, then I would be doing that. I'd be getting your gray salvage. I'd be converting all that gray salvage, specifically the stuff that you know you're going to be able to get back into your cradle XP. You're trying to max out that cradle. I just got to level 70 cradle. And that's because each gray salvage gives you 100 cradle reps. So if you have a stack, a fat stack of 300 biomass, which you can easily get 60, 70 biomass, 60, 70 unstable diodes per run if you really dial it in and get it done. So anyway, while you're doing that, you're helping your team complete their contracts. You're getting these carry tokens, and then you can use them in the store. Okay, I talked about rep packs. There's weapons. There's really cool weapons that are in there as well. All right, so let's keep going through here. Item economy. Well, actually, there's a few general things. The biggest one here is fix an issue where the previously selected zone would reset after each run. This was huge. I had a lot of people tell me, hey, I tried to run cryo, and then my team, we were like, all right, let's run it again, and we hit go, and we loaded a perimeter. You would choose a zone, and then it would default back to perimeter every time. Okay. Fix an issue where your crew fill settings did not persist between runs. I don't know about this one. This one is kind of messing with me even after the update. So we'll see. I was having it go back to like solo no fills. So I don't know. They're clearly having issues with that defaulting back. Fix an issue that prevented crew members from readying up after swapping trios to duos. Interesting. Fix an issue where duos may be unable to matchmake if the leader changes the activity to non-duos. Okay. So a bunch of stuff here with duos. Item economy. Added weekly login rewards beneath the Today Sponsored section in the Armory. Awesome. So once a week, if you're following my channel, I'm already telling you, hey, get your first update, if you get your first capstone in each faction, and then collect that free loot daily. Now you have another thing free that you can collect once a week. All right. Slightly reduced loot quality and increased item pull in cert containers in Night March. Interesting. So these cert containers, people were, especially the 5 ones, people were getting a lot of good loot in. So another nerf to loot quality. They're really trying to balance this out. Slightly reduced prestige drops from pinnacle containers found in prestige locker rooms. I don't agree with that one. I mean, again, they're trying to balance the loot out. I thought the gold keys were actually like they're the top tier. They're hard to get. I don't agree with hitting that one and removing some of the gold mods and weapons you get from gold key rooms. But hey, I guess they see the data. They're trying to figure it out. Fix an issue where combatant reinforcements in Night March were able to roll more loot than intended over the course of the run. I actually have no idea what that means. Combatant reinforcements in Nightmarsh, able to roll more loot than intended over the course. What is rolling loot? Okay, if you understand that one, please put it in the comments below. Minor rebalancing of folio and trunk boards across item types. Fix an issue where UASC sponsored kits could spawn with cryo keys. Interesting. Okay. Reduced XP of Blue Neek deluxe weapons from 1500 to 700. Interesting. So okay, so this is them hitting the cradle again. If you're not familiar, they hit the cradle with a 25% XP reduction earlier in the season, and people are not happy about it. People were getting cradle up really fast, and so now you're at this weird thing where you're right, people were getting the cradle up way too fast, but now you have it to where people are getting the cradle up way too fast, and then they stop that, and now you have people getting it up slower. Honestly, 25%, I think, yes, it's a difference, but I'm telling you, with this gray salvage run on sponsored perimeter, it doesn't matter. You can just crank it out. So I see where people are coming from with that, but I think it's something that if you just put the time in, you're gonna get it done regardless. Yes, it's gonna be 25% slower, but you know, I already have max cradle, and I played a little bit that first week, but I wasn't one of the people that played Night March the first week, so I was a little behind, and I'm already max now. Especially, I went from 60 to 70 just playing this sponsored perimeter mode, and let me tell you, the last two levels are 150k XP and 210k XP, so it's big. Anyway, reduced XP value of superior and prestige weapon mods. Superior went from 2500 to 1000, and prestige went from 7500 to 3750. Okay, so again, blue and purple and gold mods are getting a hit on the amount of cradle XP they give. All right. Combat. We'll see if there's anything in here about the D54. That's what I'm looking for, but I don't think there will be. Fix an issue where folding stock stat bonuses were reversed. Yes, I figured this one out. One of them says, hey, you should be able to zoom in quicker when this thing is folded or unfolded. I forget which one. And it was the opposite. So, again, good thing to just check Bungie when they say stuff. You know, you never know. But if you figure that one out pretty quick, because it was a huge ADS delta between the two. Bully SMG. Fix an issue with the Bully Twitch sub drop style mag not matching the promotional artwork. Okay, BR33 volley rifle. Fix an issue where the lockout muzzle prestige mod was not suppressing the weapon audio. Okay, so an issue with the gold mod. Something that most people probably didn't even notice. V22 volt thrower. Fix an issue where the V22 volt thrower could be inaudible to crewmates and other runners. Okay. User interface and experienced. Errors in the ready up screen will now more clearly display which crewmate has an error. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because it was kind of hard to determine who had the problem before. Hovering over the error will display a tooltip explaining how to resolve it. Crew errors, such as too many, not enough runners, will display only near the ready button. Okay. Fix an issue where some weapon mod tooltips would flash or not show when comparing with another compatible mod. Okay, so very minor things. It's good to know, because if there is an error, you can call it out to your team a little clearer now. Runners. Thief. Okay, Thief had the wrong voice line. Interesting. Fix an issue where this is in contracts now. Fix an issue where the wrong art was being displayed on the story and reward side of certain limited contracts. Okay. C.A.R.R.I. Fix an issue that could prevent some limited cryo contracts from appearing correctly after weekly reset. Okay. I feel like they've been changing that ever since season 1. It's like a line item every month. Those cryo contracts, I guess, somehow with how they're coded are a major problem. New caloric. Fix an issue with Cap 2 where patch kits and shield charges were not being awarded. Yes. So I've been grinding a lot of new cal, and so I've been doing a lot of these standard contracts. If you haven't watched my video on rep grinding, you should. Specifically, though, I definitely noticed I was not getting patch kits and shield charges each time. I still wanted new cal up, so I kept going, but probably missed out on a lot of patch kits and shield charges. Fixed an issue that prevented antivirus kits from being available in the armory, even after unlocking them in the faction upgrades. Yes, that's another good one. Hard to do lockdown events without any antivirus, so that's good. Codex. All right, a few things with the codex here. The one man's treasure would complete without needing to convert a gold item. Yep, I saw that. I converted a blue weapon, and then I got that, and I was like, oh no, wait, did that blue weapon have a gold mod? But I think it was just an issue. Updated tooltip description for Bungie reward entries to indicate that rewards are available for purchase after claiming. Okay. If you're not familiar with Bungie games, they essentially do this thing where if you do certain things in the game, certain achievements, then you can go to their store, spend some money, and buy limited rewards. So they're just letting you know that after you collect those, you can buy those limited rewards. Fix an issue where some early bird VIP entries from season 1 were not unlocking correctly in season 2. Okay, so a little few things here. Actually, we're right near the end. This last part sums it up, and then I got a little bit of commentary there at the end, and we'll wrap this up. If you're enjoying this video, look, this is free content. Please subscribe. I got a 1K goal. That's all I'm going to say about it. Let's keep going. Zones, Dire Marsh, day and night. Fix an issue that allowed runners to loot certain containers in bioresearch locked room without the proper key. This is huge. There was literally one of those key rooms in bioresearch that the window was broken and you could just go in there and loot it. So this was like a day or two. I didn't get to do it, but it was a thing. And then they were like, all right, we're going to disable all bioresearch keys so you can't use them, and we're going to take all the loot out of that room while we try to figure this out. Fixed an issue where a non-final exfils timer could be extended beyond the final exfils timer. Yes. So how this is supposed to work is if you activate an exfil timer, then it should, when the whole game ends at the very end with the final exfil timer, it should, like, let's imagine you're activating this exfil timer and it's right at that time when the last minute kicks in. Then it should always be to where when the final exfil, when the game timer ends, you also can exfil on that. So it's supposed to save you in case your exfil timer that you're using, that's not the final exfil timer, is too long. And there was an issue here where it was only a half a second, 1 second, something really tiny, but that little bit of delta there where it activated but wouldn't let you get out is enough to where it was getting people killed. So imagine you have an exfil activated, you try to get in it, and you don't get out. Obviously, that would be frustrating. They're trying to fix that. Fix an issue causing a few containers to float on top greenhouse. All right. Dire Marsh Night. Fix an issue in upper complex where a door hack device was hidden behind a cabinet. Fix an issue where other runners' flashlights wouldn't appear if they were turned on before entering your sight range. That's an interesting one. I'm glad they fixed that. And then finally, Dire Marsh Day. Fixed an issue where the second wave of exfils was failing to spawn. That was a huge one. I'm surprised it's the last line item here because there was just so many less exfils on Dire Marsh Day, and it was making the map really hard to play. So anyway, everything should be back to normal there. Look, if you're enjoying my content, I have a playlist. It's on my channel. You can just check it out. It's just essentially marathon guides. If you're trying to do something like cut the grass, whatnot, and you just want to listen and you're like, hey, I want to be playing marathon, but I got to cut the grass, or I got to do this other thing, or I got to drive 2 hours, whatever it is, you can put my videos on in the background. And so if you're cutting the grass, just listen to video after video. You'll be able to get better just by listening. And of course, especially if you're cutting the grass, take a second in the video. If you hear something cool, just hit a like on that button. I appreciate that. Otherwise, that's all I got for you. Please subscribe if you like my content. Please give me a like, and I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate it. Peace.